All eyes are watching, and we've got to go out there and perform and prove what we can do.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to talk about Gareth Bale, because he's been speaking about why he moved to Spurs in the summer. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal, and Granit Xhaka has said that a lot of the criticism that he receives is unfair and unjustified.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is Spurs and Gareth Bale. And of course, he is on international duty with Wales. And he's been speaking about why he moved to Spurs. And I don't think this looks great for Spurs, because it's very much like he's using them as training, to put it bluntly. He plans on returning to Real Madrid. He does still have a year left on his contract. There is no obligation to buy in the loan. And he simply said that he moved to Spurs to get match fit for the Euros this coming summer. Yeah, very honest. And he is one of those players that does, say what he thinks. But he says that there's no distraction for me. I think the main reason I come to Spurs this year was to play football first and foremost. Going into the Euros, I wanted to be match fit. The original plan was to do a season at Spurs, and after the Euros, still have a year left at Real Madrid. My plan is to go back, and that is as far as I have planned. Of course, Jose Mourinho has recently been speaking about Gareth Bale, and he says that his future beyond the end of the season was a matter for Real Madrid. Mourinho has also questioned Bale's attitude after the FA Cup defeat by Everton in February, admitting that the player had asked for a scan on an injury he described as not obvious. Bale, of course, then had a little bit of a resurgence, scoring 6 goals in 6 games before Spurs' season took an absolute fall after losing to Arsenal and then exiting from the Europa League at the hands of Dinamo Zagreb. So yeah, listen, it's going to be very interesting to see what Spurs fans think of this, because Gareth Bale has always been looked at as a legend of the club. They don't really hold any grudges against Bale leaving to go to Real Madrid, because ultimately he left them to go and win trophies. He went to Real Madrid and he won trophies, multiple Champions Leagues. So it was the right thing to do. You only have to look at Harry Kane at present and, the situation with him and the things that everybody's been saying. How long is he going to stay at Spurs? He's 27 years old and he's not won a single thing. Gareth Bale was doing so well, smashing it in the Premier League, and then he was like, right, do I spend a few more years at Spurs, win nothing, and then maybe not get that big move, or do I go? He left. He was gone instantly, and it was the best thing he did. But what do Spurs fans actually think of this current situation? Do they look at that and feel a little bit like they've been used? Because they've not really got a lot out of Gareth Bale for the season. When you look at it, he's had a really poor time. There was the last month or so when he was apparently back and he was, his old self again and everything else. Although, they weren't playing anyone of any note with any, due respect to those teams. But, I think it was a little bit premature, to be honest with you. I think that quite a few people got a little bit ahead of themselves and, thought that Gareth Bale had returned. It was, the Gareth Bale from before he left to join Real Madrid. But ultimately, when you look at his, performance against Arsenal and then Dinamo Zagreb, you've got to kind of question it. I don't know too much about his performance against Zagreb, but the Arsenal one in particular, obviously, because I watched the game, he was absolutely anonymous. He didn't do anything in the game in any way, shape or form. And that's the kind of game you think that, he would step up and he would enjoy. And when Son got injured as well, that was even more reason for him to step up to the plate to say, yeah, I'm the man. I'm you know, this multiple Champions League winner, world-class player, and no, it's not really worked out like that. And, you know, I've referenced to him as Happy Gilmore because, you know, he'd rather spend his days on a golf course. And, yeah, that's what it is. I can't really say much more than that. It'd be interesting, like I said, to see what Spurs fans think about it, because it's very much like, you know, Gareth Bale's used them as a stepping stone, a bit of a gym, a bit of a workout, get himself fit, go to the Euros, do what he's got to do with Wales, and then he's going back to Real Madrid. Can't really say much more than that, to be honest with you. Next piece of news involves Arsenal, and Granit Xhaka is currently away with Switzerland on international duty. And in a recent interview, he has said that he is the target for unfair criticism at Arsenal and is treated differently to other players at the club by its fans. The midfielder apologised earlier this month after his error led to a Burnley goal in Arsenal's 1-1 draw, and recently opened up on the abuse he and his family receive on social media. He was also sent off in Arsenal's 1-0 home defeat to Burnley in December, which his turbulent relationship with the club's fans stretches back to when he reacted angrily at being jeered off the pitch in October 2019. He says that in football you have to live with criticism, but there also have to be limits. There are other players who get red cards, but they don't get the criticism as much as I do. That doesn't ruin me. I can handle it. And this time I come back even stronger, which many people did not expect. Now, of course, Granit Xhaka has been a regular starter under Mikel Arteta. And it's been an up and down season. And, you know, he admits that. He says that we got off to a good start at the beginning. Then we didn't score in a number of games and it was really bad. But now things are going much better. In the league, we are back within reach of the European places. And now we need a run in there to make it. In the Europa League, it will be absolutely important to get to the final. So I kind of get what he's saying, because there is a lot of time when I see, you know, Xhaka getting unfair criticism for, you know, things that he's not even doing wrong. He doesn't have bad games and he instantly gets blamed. And I think a lot of it is that Arsenal fans do still have that incident in 2019 in their mind. And it's an accident waiting to happen. I think the reason why Arsenal fans react to his red cards is because he's had so many before where he does something stupid and you're just sitting there scratching your head and going, why'd you do that? Why? When you look at that mistake against Burnley, you know, you only have to look at how many mistakes he's made that have been led to goals since he's joined Arsenal. And that's one of the reasons why fans get a bit fed up, because it's not once or twice, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And there comes a point when you just get bored of seeing it. His performances of late have been really good. You know, so much more better performances than bad ones. And yes, it's a tough one. I think he's one of those players, you either love him or, you know, or you hate him. And that just seems the way that it is. The criticism is fine, but the abuse that he has received, his family and his daughter and his wife, just absolutely disgusting. And that needs to stop. You know, comments about, you know, where he's from, who he might be, or his family, his wife, his daughter, and that's not football related. Keep it out of it. All right? Concentrate on what he does on the pitch. Just use that. If you don't think he plays well, say it. But at the same time, if he plays well, praise him. You know what I mean? So, very interesting. But there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comments section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.